My girl, Kelly Rowland. All right, I love the girl. You know, she's talented. She's beautiful, by the way. I never knew she was that beautiful. I get standing next to Beyonce all that time. I used to be like, yeah, she's all right. But when I met her in person, like I interviewed her once, I said, damn, she's beautiful.
Yeah, you late to the party.
I know, I'm late to the party.
Fine as hell,
sometimes my vision is a little blurry. Sometimes, yeah. Fine as hell. But anyway, you know, she was at the Cannes festival recently, right? So she was out there at Cannes, and she was you know, they had the whole function going on, and she was, you know, going up the red carpet, up the steps or whatever like that. And she was there just to, you know, be supportive and be there with a lot of the celebrities that were there too. And, you know, so we see her going up the steps, and then they had a lot of security out there doing their job, which was just moving on along all the celebrities. So, you know, because there's a timing thing with all these awards and all these festivals that's going on, right? So they had their timing thing. So it looked like they was just moving her along because they had different celebrities lined up, you know, getting ready to take a position. I guess to them, she was taking too long. So you saw them moving her, whispering in her ears, and she was polite at that time. She's like, oh, okay, whatever. She turned back. And then she stopped again, and they tried to move her again. And she was like, okay. Then they tried to move her again. Next thing you know, one of the security guards, they stepped on her dress. Then you saw that face. She was like, oh, she didn't like that, right?
Right.
She didn't like that. And then she said, you saw her doing like this, bro. Like, yo, don't do that. Like, she was yelling at the guard. And then one of the men security guard had to come and say, kind of like calm them down, because there was two kind of women going at each other, right? So she didn't like that at all. Now, I guess my question to you is, obviously over there at Cannes and stuff like that, you know, it's a function that's going on. Seemed like maybe they were just doing their job and moving the different celebrities along so the next one could walk on. So do you think that Kelly was maybe in the wrong, or do you think that the security was in the wrong? Like, how do you think this whole thing played out? Who do you think was in the wrong in this whole situation?
Yeah, that's a tough one on a couple of things, right? A couple of sides. So one, that Usher job, trying to move people along, right? You attended and been a part of a number of red carpets. That whole step and repeat, timing, get things moving along. That's not an easy job for those ushers. Listen, just think about the award shows, right? Someone goes up at the speech, you know, they've got that. It's essentially a beautiful usher. You've got this kind of model standing there holding the award, and they're trying to direct people. Not an easy job. It's tough to know who was in the wrong, who was in the right. I'll tell you one thing. I was a little disappointed with Kelly, in that she invoked race into this. When I saw that, I was like, come on, Kay. Like another K, right?
Yeah, right.
Listen, if this Usher security person was in the wrong, right? Because Kelly didn't say what she said, but she talked about her boundaries and other things. And so if the person was in the wrong, then point that out. But the fact that you implied that it may have been about race, I think is the wrong route to go. Because if you're focused on what this person did, then we can all, right, kind of buy into that or look at that and say, okay, yeah, we kind of get that. But once you start trying to determine what someone's motive was, who knows? We can't say that. And then that became the story. So think of it this way. So what if the person wasn't doing their job effectively, right? Now all of a sudden, there's less conversation around that, around maybe an opportunity to train this person in the workplace. And now we're talking about whether or not this person is racially motivated, which is the reason why. Now all of a sudden that becomes the topic, and we're not talking about what the root issue of that may be. Now it doesn't mean what Kelly said about, I didn't see anyone else that looks like me, right? No, okay, right, I hear you. But now you've created this like, oh, was it about race? Now we're talking about that. That was the one part I felt a little bit disappointed about.
Okay.
Right, because there could have been an opportunity for some corrective action with this person and talk with them. Now all of a sudden, the powers that be are like, are you racist? And it's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not racist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people can just be assholes, or
That's
some
true.
people could just be
That's
an
true.
idiot.
Yeah.
Some folks are just not good at their job, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think by saying what she said, she created this kind of other narrative around it, which I didn't think she needed to do.
But maybe that was her opinion. Maybe that is what she felt. And I'm sure she's been in a lot of situations where race has been a part of the reason why she has, she dealt with a lot of situations that she wanted. So maybe, so you have a problem with someone expressing why they feel like this. Listen, there's no facts. We don't know. And remember, both of them were having a conversation in their ears. We don't know exactly what the woman said to Kelly. Like, I don't know. I don't know exactly what Kelly said to her, but we clearly knew that Kelly was, upset about it. And there have been times when people have said that, Kelly has a certain attitude. I mean, it was a few months ago, not long ago, where she was on the set of the Today Show, and she apparently just walked right off of the set because she didn't get the dressing room that she wanted. I don't know if maybe Jennifer Lopez had the dressing room that she wanted, or it's another celebrity, I can't remember, who had the dressing room that she wanted. Now that's hearsay, she say, I don't know, but that's the stories that we heard. So there are, rumors going around that Kelly can be difficult at times, right? So whether that's true, whether it's not, I don't know, right? I don't know the woman like that. However, in this incident where she felt that race was a part of it, and maybe she's saying to herself, would she have done that to another white woman? Maybe not. Like, we don't know. To your point, could the woman have just been an asshole and not a racist? It's possible, but Kelly felt that way. So Kelly is just sharing that she felt that, it could be racist. So what's wrong with her just sharing her personal feelings on why she thinks that it happened?
Because if it's not accurate, if that's not true, then that's irresponsible. No one should have a moniker like that attached to them unless you have reason, specific reason, not what you felt.
How do you prove that, Kenny?
Well, if the woman, so it looks like there was some comment being said. I think she said what she said. I said what I said. What have you? If she said something specifically, right, then that's how you would know. But Kelly didn't say that. Kelly alluded to how no one else looked like her. So it made it seem like she was, this is how I interpret it, that she made it seem like she was treated a certain way and handled a certain way because she was the only black person there. Which, you and I know, it could be any number of things, right, that could have been the reason why. Who's to say, right, of how long the preceding people took, which then now compresses the time for those who may be coming up after that. Like, maybe the ushers weren't moving people along before Kelly arrived as quickly. Now all of a sudden, oh, chop, we need to kind of move this along.
Right.
Like, it could have been something that way, and maybe they got a little aggressive. Like, I don't know. My point is, to your question, unless you have something concrete to say, hey, this person is a racist, that is a horrible thing to say about someone. And I don't think it should be used loosely. I don't think it should be implied. And I think that we sometimes as people get very loose by throwing these things around. Not a lot of things, not everything is motivated by race, man. Like I said, some people could just be bad at their job, right? And so that's why I said, so yeah, maybe she felt that way. Not disputing that. I suspect that if Kelly said it, that's how she felt. But all I'm doing is questioning, why'd you feel that way? Right? Why'd you feel that way? And if it was just a matter of someone ushering you along quicker than you saw them doing to someone who didn't look like you, that's a pretty big, in my opinion, that's a big leap to go from, hey, this person is doing this because I'm black. That's a lot to me. That's just a whole lot to take in.
Well, and it also, she could be racist, right? Like, she could very well be racist. And again, we don't know exactly what she said to Kelly, right? We don't. Like, no one knows. So if Kelly is saying that, I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's not true. I have no idea. But she clearly said that for a reason. How many times in your life, because I know in mine, that I've known deep down in my soul that what's happening to me is only because I'm black. Like, do I have proof on it? Of course not. It is so hard to prove whether someone is racist or not. But only Ko knows, only Kelly knows, only Jay knows, only Doc knows if they're feeling like they're being treated a certain way because the person is racist. Is there any proof? Of course not. We all know it's very hard to prove. So if she's saying that, she's saying it for a reason, right? So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with someone. The same thing with the Harrison story. That's their opinion, right? No. You can give your opinion on anything you want to give your opinion on. Jay, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I think in principle you're correct, but there is a level of responsibility, right? We're talking about one of the more recognizable faces in the world, right? And how you could turn legions of people on this person. This person could lose their job. Like, so much stuff can happen, right?
Okay.
So all I'm saying is, if that is indeed the case, like if you do that, just make sure it's accurate. Make sure you
There's no proof there, Kay. There's no proof.
Listen, the proof could be whether if she said something to her, right? Yeah, but we're talking about maybe she felt that way. Now, if you felt that way, I think it doesn't mean that their feeling isn't real.
So you're saying don't speak your feelings. Is that what you're saying? You're saying none of us should speak our feelings. People in this world should not speak their feelings.
Well, you just said you had two questions.
Okay.
You said none of us. I'm not saying none of us.
Oh, you're saying because she's a celebrity.
Well, I'm saying in that particular forum, I think she could have, you need to be a little bit more responsible. I don't want anyone casting any aspersions on me, right, that are inaccurate just because it's their
happens every day, Kevin.
Well, it does happen every day, but none of that stuff makes it right, man. Like, I don't want to be called something that I'm not because your interpretation of that, I very well could just be, as I said, bad at my job, or you know, in the earpiece I have, someone's dictating to me, listen, Kelly's walking up, move her along. It's Cannes Festival. We've got a premiere that's going to start in 5 minutes. That's what I'm saying. We've got no way of knowing exactly what happened or what took place. It's her impression of what that is, which is fine. She can have that. But I think it might be a tad bit irresponsible to step out there. If that's all she had was someone's actions, right, based off what we saw, to make that leap that this was racially motivated because someone's trying to usher you along pretty quickly during a premiere, an arrival to a premiere event. That's all that I'm saying.
And unfortunately, a lot of people, black people, they pull the black card.
And
stuff like that, and they use the race card and stuff like that. So we'll never know, but I guess we'll see how this plays out. I still love that girl. That's my girl.
Oh yeah, no, listen, call me anytime, Kelly.